Hi everyone, this is Hafeez and I have 16 years of experience in Salesforce where I work with various multinational companies and work with Salesforce as a technical architect and solution architect and where I have worked on designing various Salesforce cloud implementation including AI and Agentforce and various industries with respect to health cloud and industry clouds and revenue cloud and so on and so forth. Thanks for joining this call. And today we'll get started with the Salesforce training, day one. So I'll quickly go ahead. All right, today we are going to cover the following that you can see and accept the demo, which will cover the introduction of the Salesforce and what is cloud computing and how the traditional IT on-premise applications versus cloud computing that we can look after, and key components of cloud computing, advantages of the cloud computing, representation of the cloud computing, and characteristics of the cloud computing. And we also can discuss about types of clouds, where we have public, private, community, and hybrid cloud, and services of the cloud, where it will offer IaaS, SaaS, and PaaS. We'll get to know about these details as well. And what is CRM? How the CRM is different from the cloud computing, and why the Salesforce CRM is better than other CRMs in the market right now, which are trending, right? And the other last one is like Salesforce platform programming language. What the Salesforce platform programming language offers with respect to various solutions and various business problems that will solve. Okay, we'll move forward. Salesforce introduction. As you know that nowadays Salesforce is world's number one, the CRM platform, which is consisting of artificial intelligence, AI, and data storing in cloud and solve the various business problems. And these organizations, which will manage the customer relationships, various business processes, and building the custom applications as well. All these applications are building in cloud-based platform, and we call that platform as Einstein 1 platform. Einstein 1 platform means an artificial intelligence. In Salesforce perspective, we call it as Einstein Copilot, which will combine with the real-time data cloud, and there is no much code involved in artificial intelligence to use that low code tools and solve the business problems with respect to the various departments. What do you mean by various departments? Whether it may be a sales, service, marketing, commerce, and analytics. We can get to each of the details as well in coming classes. But in general, right, every business, every real-time business that is happening in nowadays, right, all will go with these departments only. If you consider any company, if a company sales are good, then the company will get revenue. If any company is giving the service to the customer, then obviously a revenue and a profit will be generated to that company. The same way, one after another is linked with each department in a company. The Salesforce is offering all these kind of departments, combining together is giving a number one CRM platform. What are the key facts of Salesforce history, right? Salesforce is founded in 1999, right? By Mark Benioff in San Francisco. When this was found in the market, where there are no competitor at that point in time, one Salesforce applications, one Salesforce CRM was introduced to solve all the business problems. And now, from 1999 to till date 2025, the Salesforce acquired, or Salesforce has 150,000 plus organization through worldwide, and it combines very small companies to very big MNCs. Total of 500 companies that they are using Salesforce applications to solve their business problems in today's market. And also, it became a number one CRM for the consecutive 11 years, 11 plus years, which got IDC ranking, International Data Corporation, IDC. Every year, International Data Corporation will conduct a survey and give the ranking to the various platforms. And now Salesforce itself is now tagging with the tagline called the world's number one artificial intelligence plus data plus CRM platform. So what is like the Salesforce complete vision that kept, right? To help the companies connect with their customers in a different way with easy low code tools, with easy customer unified interface layers, which is custom UI or standard UI that Salesforce is offering. What is the mission of the Salesforce, right? Which empowers the business of every size and industry to transform in digital to the scalable customer relationships. We'll talk about it. What is CRM, customer relationship management, and all other details in coming slides. With this, the Salesforce we have come to know the background of it, right? Now we'll talk about what is cloud computing. We were hearing every time, right? It's a cloud. In general, everywhere we are listening a word called cloud. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by the cloud? in a general word. You do not need to be specific to the particular technology.
The storage is service.
Sorry?
Storage and service.
Yeah.
Storage.
Storage and service.
Yes.
Set of
Yes.
data storage.
Correct. All these answers are correct. So it's a storage. We do not need to have any physical devices, physical IT infrastructure. Everything will work through the internet. So we don't need servers, we don't need storage, we don't need any databases, software, nothing. And we don't need to maintain all the physical infrastructure. That is called cloud computing. Cloud. And then computing. Computing means we are residing. We are not using any of the physical devices or physical infrastructure. But how it is going to work? Pay as you use model. What do you mean by pay as use, right? Let's say if I want to use the application for 10 days with some amount of storage. So we'll pay for only that amount of storage and then use that application. You do not need to pay entire infrastructure amount. So what is going to happen with this, right? If a company is maintaining the servers, storage and databases, if you buy those, right, the investment amount for that company would be more. Means you have to buy them and you have to maintain them and you have to scale them. Means you have to extend. If data storage is not there, then you have to extend. Extended memory that you have to use. But whereas if you are using cloud computing, we do not need to maintain anything. So obviously, investment amount will be reduced. If investment amount is reduced in a particular company, definitely profit will be increased. Let's say you are getting $10 million as a profit, and out of which, if you are spending the 3 to 4 millions of dollars under the infrastructure, then the remaining will go as profit. But if you are using cloud computing, the investment amount will be less, then obviously the profit will be increased. So it transformed this profit capital intensive model into a service driven model. What do you mean by capital intensive model? Capital intensive means you need to use the physical infrastructure. You need to spend the capital. You need to spend the amount, investment amount. But for the cloud computing, it is a service driven model. What do you mean by service driven model? You want to use a particular application for the service. How much you want to use? That much service will be given. And you have to pay only for that pay and use model. So in cloud computing that we were talking about, right? What are the examples that we have? The systems or the companies will use the cloud computing is Salesforce, obviously, AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. But how these data servers are maintained? How it will work, right? So we'll have the global data centers, and the data will be stored into that global data centers, and resources are pooled into that data center. What do you mean by resources are pooled? Means a user, a licenses will be given from that data centers to access the data, to access the application. Since we are not maintaining any servers over there, all will be maintained by cloud computing. What we need to do as an end user, we just need to access the application through the internet from any web browser or any other mobile apps. We just need an internet and the mobile and any devices to access the application, and everything provider will take care of it, which will manage the hardware, networking, all the updates, and scaling. Scaling, what do you mean by scaling? Let's say you have 1 TB memory, and where number of various users that are trying to use that 1 TB memory, and which may not be sufficient at one point in time as the demand increase, right? So we should be able to extend the memory. We should be able to extend and serve to the various large number of customers. That we need to do upscaling, extending that memory. That will also be automatically done by the provider. Yeah, so as I was telling, using this cloud computing, users are able to access all the applications from the cloud and run a business under the CRM applications, which is called customer relationship management. And the users need to access this at any point in time, wherever they are, and from wherever the devices that they are using. A simple internet and device and a username and password will be issued based upon the licenses taken. You can access these all cloud-based applications and the services anywhere, any place. So it will support laptops, mobiles, tablets, all these devices. Just need an internet which will connect the users to the cloud services. And what are the things that we are going to access and take the service from there? Under the cloud computing, the servers, the storage, the databases, and the software, SaaS, software as a service. We'll cover that in next slides. And the last thing is AI and analytics, artificial intelligence and analytics. Analytics is a kind of thing where you want to run a particular report. For example, if you are running a company, you wanted to see what is my quarter results, what is my quarter sales, how much the services are offered, and what is the pipeline, the revenue that has been generated. All will form various reports, and that reports will be also accessible from the applications. And what are these like basic cloud providers to offer these solutions is Salesforce, AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. We'll talk about this, why Salesforce is better than this with respect to various CRMs that we have in the market. So why we use cloud computing? By now, you can answer this, right? Why we need cloud computing? In earlier days, a traditional IT on-premise applications were used. Means on-premise applications. You need to maintain the hardware. You need to maintain the storage capacity. You need to maintain devices. All physical infrastructure is to be maintained on the traditional IT on-premise model that was used earlier. If you go with the traditional IT model, your investment for the company will be increasing. It is more expensive to buy all these servers and the infrastructure devices. Also, limited scalability means if you have on-demand users, more number of users trying to use the application, use the system, we do not have a capacity to extend. We have to do the more investment again. We cannot do upscale and downscale. If you have at any point in time, a particular quarter, less number of users who are using these applications, we cannot reduce the capacity because it's a one-time device that we have already buy and make an investment, right? That's where. Also, maintaining is major biggest problem. In nowadays, every other year, keep on going, and we are getting like a lot of various updated technologies, updated versions. So as a trend goes, we need to always upgrade them. So in the traditional IT model, we were doing manual upgrades. And in cloud computing, we do not need to do all these stuff as we do in traditional IT on-premise model. Because as we were discussing, cloud computing, it's just access your Salesforce applications or any other application, cloud-based applications, anywhere remotely from any device, which will benefit reducing the investment and fast deployment, and it can be accessible anywhere from any device. And we do not need to maintain any hardware. The cloud computing will manages everywhere automatically. That's why we need to go with cloud computing. And most of the companies are nowadays going with cloud computing. So if you can see the differences, right? These are the major differences that we were talking about. Cloud computing versus traditional IT model. Cost, obviously, scalability, maintenance and deployment, and accessibility. You can see the differences here under the traditional IT model and cloud computing model. How these are being different and why we go there. So we'll move forward. So what are the key components of cloud computing? We are saying everywhere computing, cloud and then computing. What do you mean by computing? That we use the word, right? Computing means it will be trying to connect your applications through remotely, and it is processing everything at the cloud. What do you mean by processing, right? We'll have virtual machines or virtual servers that are being maintained at the cloud. The virtual machines and the containers. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by VMs and containers, right? Can anyone say what do you mean by virtual machines? In general terms, you can consider. Do not think about any application related, but just in general word, what do you mean by virtual machine?
Uh, high-end computers on
Remote
servers
servers.
to run applications for various users at the same time.
For various. Meaning is you are trying to access a particular server remotely is called virtual server. For example, you have a laptop, right? So through the laptop, using the virtual VM, you can also access another laptop as well, another complete laptop. A virtual username and password will be given to you. However, you use the physical device, the laptop, you can also use the virtual machine. from your physical laptop as well. So remotely, you're accessing the complete laptop, and remotely you will have everything. However, your device has, right? Your physical device has, right? I have 6 GB memory, and I have the Windows, and I have Windows 10, and all those stuff, C drive, D drive, and everything. However, you see the physical laptop is there. The same way, you can also access the virtual machine as well, which is owning to you only. It's your laptop. However, your laptop is there. Same thing. You can store the data. You can do everything. C drive, D drive, everything. You're trying to access virtually with various machines. For example, in this case, laptop. What do you mean by containers? Can anyone say container? What do you mean by container? The word container. Okay. So I'll give you a real-time example, right? Virtual machine and container. I'll give you the real-time example. Suppose if you take a rent of an apartment, which will have kitchen, hall, and bedroom. Consider kitchen is your owning. It's your own. Means your own space that you're going to use is virtual machine. Whereas container means a shared room where this hall and this bedroom, it's like a sharing between other people as well. It's not your private space. It's publicly sharing between from other members as well, which is a container. A container is a space where it will be shared with the multiple individuals. A shared resource is called a container in a simple term. And VM, virtual machine, which you own. Yep. So storage, all your databases, files, and everything will be stored remotely. And what you need is like internet connectivity and the VPN and load balancing, and everything will be taken care by cloud computing. And applications that we were talking about, all the softwares are accessed via browser using the SaaS, software as a service application. We'll come to the details on that. What do you mean by SaaS? And cloud computing also provides AI and analytics, which is on-demand machine learning and insights, which resides artificial intelligence and various reports that the company is going to perform some audits. This is a representation that you can see where the application, if you can see this diagram, application, platform, and the infrastructure is maintained over the cloud. This is the combination of all these three is cloud computing, where an end user will access from mobile phone, tablet, desktop, and laptops. Over the internet, will try to access the application. What are the advantages of cloud computing? We are almost covered with this. We do not need to maintain a physical server, and cost efficient, scalable, fast implementation and innovation, secure and reliable infrastructure. Means all the infrastructure will be maintained, and which also enables collaboration and remote work. All right. What are the characteristics of cloud computing? Broad network access, on-demand service, based upon whatever the services that you want to access will be asked and given to services. And resource pooling means sharing the features with the various users. And we can also at any point in time expand your business licenses, which is called rapid elasticity. And measured service. Measured service means if you wanted to make your application is secure, at that point in time, no one should be logging in except your organization, right? Will maintain login IP ranges. And we can also verify who has logged in and how many times it was logged in. So that we can see like if any sensitive data, any financial related data that is secure, that if anyone logged into the system can also know about it. And we can also restrict using the IP ranges. We can set the IP ranges in the system, in the application, where other users outside of the unauthorized users cannot be able to log in. That too, we can also mention login hours, where a particular point in time, from this time to this time, a particular user will be logged in. We can set those ranges as well. And as we were talking about, we do not need to buy a server comparing with other technologies. Okay, so we were talking about this cloud computing and all those stuff, right? What are the types of clouds that we have? We have 4 types of clouds: public cloud, private cloud, community cloud, and hybrid cloud. What do you mean by public cloud? Infrastructure is shared by the multiple businesses and owned by the service provider. Because you can upscale the resources to meet the demand based upon as you pay as you go, right? On demand, we can extend our licenses that will be available under the public cloud, which is a low cost option for deploying the apps. What do you mean by the private cloud? An infrastructure is hosted on the site a service provider's data center. Means it's a private basically, right? An organization has a private secure data, secure application that you wanted to host there, right? So it will host into the service provider's data center, which will have the various levels of control and security. Because these data, these components are dedicated to your own business, so private business. So you can customize them, you can extend them, and everything that you can do it under the private cloud. Only that organization people will be able to access that private cloud basically. Community cloud. A group of organizations together works in this cloud. Means a multiple organization, multiple companies working on a particular application which is residing under the community cloud, because both organization, a group of organizations will work together in this cloud. Hybrid cloud, a combination of a private and public cloud works together in this cloud is called hybrid cloud. This all will be maintained in the cloud computing itself, but yeah, the cloud for each type that we should be knowing about it and how do we use it, right? That will be maintained. What are the services of the cloud? We have three types of services: EAS, SaaS, and PaaS. EAS, infrastructure as a service. SaaS, software as a service. PaaS, platform as a service. So what do you mean by infrastructure as a service, right? A third party which hosts the elements in a infrastructure, which is like hardware, software, servers, storage that we were talking about. Everything will be maintained as infrastructure as a service. So there are some service providers who can take care of this. As part of cloud computing that we were mentioning that all the infrastructure will be maintained by each individuals. Means a cloud, which is infrastructure as a cloud. Combination of all these three will make cloud computing. For example, Amazon. Amazon will work with the infrastructure as a service, where it will maintain everything, the software, servers, and storage and everything, and it will provide the service to the cloud computing. Software as a service. So using this cloud, software can be built, can be accessed through the internet, and the application is able to give to the various business users. Example, Salesforce.com. This is software as a service. So Salesforce will come under software as a service model. However, Salesforce will use platform as a service model. I will give you the more details about it. Platform as a service. What do you mean by platform? Basically, a simple word, platform. Can anyone? The word called platform. In a simple terms. Okay. So the platform is a particular based application or based dependency which will run on a particular thing. So meaning is, for example, if you are running something, on what basis that you are running this, right? Which is called a platform. So in Salesforce perspective, Salesforce is running based on the platform called Force.com platform, or we call it as Salesforce platform. Salesforce.com is a software service which will run on the platform called Salesforce platform. Earlier, we call this as Force.com platform. Meaning, Force.com or Salesforce platform will maintain your code, your configurations, and everything that you write. Your customization, configuration, everything will work. If you want to build some particular logic, right, that logics and everything will be maintained by Salesforce platform, which was called as earlier Force.com platform. What do you mean by EAS? infrastructure as a service in detail, right? As we were thinking that it will take the infrastructure, provide the infrastructure as a service, which will maintain the hardware, software, servers, and storage. And taking this infrastructure as a service along with various companies together will run the business and serve to the end customers. So what it will manage? Your OS, your apps, your middleware, if you have any middleware applications. All of this infrastructure will be maintained by a particular provider, so that it will take a rent, kind of rent model. They have the infrastructure, we'll just take the rent on use basis instead of buying the servers. All right, software as a service that we were already discussing about it. It's ready to use applications over the internet that we are trying to use, and various users is trying to access anywhere from the system. There is no installation or maintenance is required. Anyone can use, end users, admins, developers, a business team, sales team, anyone can use this software as a service. Examples, we have a Salesforce CRM, Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, Zoom, etc. In the Salesforce context, Salesforce CRM is a SaaS, software as a service model, which will take sales, service, and marketing clouds as a Salesforce core clouds. Functionality will be provided to the business. We'll talk about those details and later with respect to sales. What do you mean by sales? What do you mean by service? Marketing cloud, how it is being used, and what are the functionalities are involved. We'll get into it in real time with real-time examples as well. And this is a representation that you can see. A SaaS vendor, which is Salesforce, for example, maintain all the servers and everything, and just using the internet, various companies will able to access your application through the internet. And platform as a service that we already discussed about it. A Salesforce platform is a platform for Salesforce.com, which will maintain all your code and customization, configuration, and the logic. Yeah, so you can see here, when you do some coding, when you deploy something, and everything that will be maintained under the platform called Salesforce platform, and which was known as Force.com platform as well. And it will provide platform as a service model. And now we'll come to the point where what do you mean by CRM? Customer relationship management, right? What do you mean by CRM basically? When you make some relationship with the customer to have the various business interactions is called customer relationship management. And that too, everything is being handled through the data centers and the automations that we have in the applications, right? So you want to connect with a salesperson. How do you connect it? You go to the system and then you can create a particular record into the system under the sales cloud and interact with the users. Keeping those centralized data, everything, and maintain with respect to various analytics and the reports that are being created for the salespeople and also for the admin team. So what are the key benefits of this CRM, which will improve the sales and service and which will build the stronger relationships and the productivity will be increased and which will get the customer insights through the artificial intelligence and analytics. We have various CRMs in the market right now. Salesforce CRM, Zoho CRM, Microsoft Dynamics CRM, and so on and so forth. That we will discuss why CRM is better as well. But as customer relationship management, right, what are the major key goals, right? It will work with the acquire, retain, and extend model. What do you mean by acquire, retain, and extend model, right? Acquire, work with the various companies for the applications that we build to acquire on those areas to provide the various services. Retain. Retain means if you have already existing clients are there with you, you want to retain them. You wanted to keep those customers with you for a long time, right? You need to provide the various solutions, various services through the CRM, which is called retain. And then extend. Extend is finding your new clients by providing various business problems and the solutions with respect to each of the business problems. All right. So what do you see that we were discussing about cloud computing? We are discussing about the CRM, but we also need to understand how does cloud computing is different with the CRM. As we were discussing, cloud computing means it provides the infrastructure, maintain everything, and services will be provided over the internet. That is cloud computing. And customer relationship management, which will manage your customer data and relationships. These are two different things, basically. Cloud computing will maintain your all storage services and everything. And CRM will make you to engage or connect with the various business stakeholders. And cloud computing, who will use? Mostly developers, IT teams, system architects, technical architects, and everyone will use. But CRM, it's like end user application, right? Once application is made, then various team will connect each other to make relationship. Sales reps, service reps, marketing teams, and like other stakeholders as well. And cloud computing will work with the three models that we were discussing: EAS, PaaS, and SaaS. And customer relationship management is a software as a service because they are like connecting with the different users or stakeholders, right? Just they'll take an application. They do not need to build anything. That was taken care by cloud computing with the various technical architects and the developers within the team. Now, why Salesforce CRM is better than other CRMs in the market right now? PeopleSoft CRM, SAP CRM, Oracle CRM, Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So these are the like various topics, various criteria that was considering to make Salesforce is better. For making a decision for Salesforce CRM is better, then these are the major things. The major point from this is data cloud's advantage, AI and the data cloud advantage. And from the ecosystem standpoint, there are 10,000 plus app exchange apps out there. What do you mean by 10,000 app exchange apps? So there are Salesforce inbuilt functionalities, inbuilt applications that are being hosted into a server in Salesforce server, which can be accessible by any individuals. There are some paid apps. There are some free tools also there. So if any company wants to use a particular application with respect to the business problems that they are solving, they can go and then directly take the app exchange applications without any development as well. All the core functionality will be used. That is a major bigger advantage for the Salesforce CRM other than other CRM. So why Salesforce is leading the CRM market right now? As the CRM, Salesforce CRM, marked with #1 ranking under International Data Corporation for the consecutive last 11 years. And also, a Salesforce is the one first who started with Einstein Copilot, Artificial Intelligence Studio. And which is trusted by various enterprises and across the industries. And Salesforce also leads an ecosystem, which is App Exchange that I was talking about, where multiple applications are hosted into the server, and those will be taken into consideration for all the business problems, and access those applications based upon the on-demand needed. And continuous innovation. Other CRMs in the market does not have any continuous improvement, which will be taken care by CRM itself. In this case, Salesforce CRM is completely taking care of it. We have 3 releases per year. All these 3 releases will have the upgrading functionality with respect to various models that the Salesforce is giving with the free of cost. It will keep on enhancing the UI. It will keep on enhancing the functionality. It will make you easier with respect to various sales, service, and marketing. That's why now the Salesforce is leading the CRM market. All right, so we were talking about the Salesforce platform. But what the Salesforce platform is programming is, what do you mean by Salesforce platform programming? Salesforce.com is a software as a service where an end user will take an application and then use it, but which will run based upon Salesforce platform. That Salesforce platform means all the components which will enable developers to customize, to extend, and integrate the Salesforce applications using the various components. That key components are Apex programming. So every software, every system that will work with various programming language, right? Salesforce will run with the Apex programming, which look like a Java. It's not a Java language. It's a separate programming language called Apex. But all the object-oriented programming language concepts will be used in Apex. You do not need to learn Apex separately. Or the OOPS, the object-oriented programming language concepts separately. It will all be there inside the Salesforce perspective, all the logics that is there in the Apex that we can learn in this training as well. And the key component is LWC, Lightning Web Component. Nowadays, the Salesforce is being trained with the LWC component, which is very much dynamic and intuitive UI and supports with the multiple devices with respect to desktop and mobile, tablet, and everything. Whereas some other old programming languages that the Salesforce using earlier called Visual Force, which were not supportive. Though the Visual Force can be there in a very rare cases where you can use it, but still everything will go with the Lightning Web Component for the UI development. And all the API and integrations are supportive in Salesforce platform. You can integrate with any other external application, retrieve the data, connect the data, and transform the data. Salesforce platform is also supports the automation tools like lightning flow, triggers, and schedules. If you do not know these terminologies right now, which is fine, I just wanted to give you the brief how a key components a Salesforce platform will use. We can talk about these in detail with respect to each of these components. How Apex program will work, how LWC will work, and how the API integrations will be there. How the flow, trigger, and schedules. Just to understand here, how Salesforce platform, what do you mean by Salesforce platform? How that Salesforce platform is different from the Salesforce.com application. You do not see Salesforce platform when you log into the Salesforce, but in backend, all the programming code that you're writing or customizing the particular logic will be running in the Salesforce platform. And here are the components that we were discussing. And this Salesforce platform or programming will work with the two approaches, right? Declarative and programmatic. Declarative approach. No code is involved. Just points and clicks. Drag and drop. In Salesforce UI, there are some declarative tools that we can use just to drag and drop or build without code. Everything from the UI that can be done is called declarative. What are those declarative tools, right? Lightning flows, and we have we have the page layouts, lightning app builders, and all those stuff. We'll discuss these in details in later point in time, but try to understand now what the Salesforce platform programming is. Salesforce platform means it's like no code, declarative, and also we can use the code with the programmatic approaches. Who will be using this? Suppose declarative functionality that a particular person is using, right? Admins, consultants will use this declarative. I would not suggest a particular individual of you people who is trying to take Salesforce training should not be going with admin. You should be taking admin and developer, because if you want to extend some functionality with respect to any of the existing model, then you cannot do it. Where if a developer is there, a developer background where you will be able to learn and write some code, which will be very much easier compared to just sticking with admins. For your future, for the extending upgradable perspective, we should be knowing about programmatic and the declarative tools as well. So if you want simple automation, then we'll go with declarative codes, right? If you have like logic or an integration is there. If you have like automation and the logic, both are there, then how do we do? We need to use the declarative tools and write some program Apex code as well with respect to the logic that we are going to work. Okay. What are the how Salesforce platform will resides on particular layers, right? What are the layers of Salesforce platform? We'll have these 5 layers basically. It will work with data layer, logic layer, UI layer, integration layer, and AI layer. Data layer. What do you mean by data layer? For any application, if you wanted to do something, if you wanted to store the data, how do we do it? We need to store that data and then we need to access the data at any point in time. So in Salesforce, we use objects, fields, and relationships. We have the custom objects and standard objects. Those are different. Object means what actually? An object is a database table which will have the rows and various data that is being added. For example, a person is filling a form with your personal details, with your contact information, and all those stuff. When you are clicking on a save in a particular form, in any application, all the data will be going and storing into a database. And each and every database will have their unique styles, unique patterns. But in Salesforce platform, we call it as objects, fields, and relationships. With these 3 only, the data will be stored. Logic layer. So when you build some logic, suppose let's say if you are filling the form where, if you're trying to enter a mobile number, which is not 10 digits, then it will throw a validation error saying like your mobile number is not 10 digits. How the 10 digits, how you're sending that message? You will write some logic, which is called here validation rules. So you will say that if this field, if you are entering that not more than less than 10 digits, then throw a validation rule. Throw the validation saying like please enter 10 digits. Likewise, which will reside on the logic layers. And UI layer, as you know, an end user, if you're trying to access the application, how the look and feel, how the user intuitive, that will carry over UI layer. And Salesforce perspective, we call it as LWC or lightning pages and lightning applications. And integration layer. Integration, what do you mean by integration? Can anyone tell me in a simple way, what do you mean by integration in a software technology? Okay. Integration is connecting between one system to other system, whether it may be inbound or outbound. What do you mean by inbound and outbound? A particular data that you are trying to retrieve from the another application to the Salesforce is called inbound. So from to the Salesforce, you are trying to get the data and then store in Salesforce. It's called inbound. If you are trying to send the data from Salesforce to some external system, which is outbound, but both are integrations only. So in a simple term, integration means communicating between one system to other system, sharing the data between one system to other system based upon a particular action the user is performing. Suppose, let's say you're doing the payment using the phone pay. Phone pay is an application, but phone pay is connecting with what? Your bank. Your bank has to be connected to that phone pay. As soon as when you enter some amount and then enter the password, UPI password, then it will connect to a bank. So then integration is happening between phone pay and the bank. When you try to enter the UI in the phone pay button, when you click on send button, then in backend what is happening is an integration call out is being made to the bank server to see whether this person has the amount is there in this account or not, whether he has entered the UPI password correct or not, whether the OTP is being entered correct or not, right? All these things will be verified by the bank. How it will be verified? Because integration is happening there. How this integration will happen? When you click on send, a send request will go to a particular bank, and bank will send you the response saying success. Hey boss, everything is correct, and your OTP is correct, and your UPI is correct. You're good to go. As soon as when PhonePe is getting the success response, then amount is being transferred to an individual. This is a payment integration is happening. So likewise, there are a lot of integrations, a lot of applications integration that is being done and can be done using the Salesforce platform. Now the last one is AI layer, which is nowadays in trend. And Salesforce is using Agentforce AI Studio, which will have lot of automations are happening through a particular agent that will take care of manual tasks can be converted. We'll discuss those in details later point in time. And we also have Einstein Copilot, which will generate the responses. When you ask something, automatically it will give you the response based upon the response copilot that is stored into particular scenario. With this, we are done for today, and you can now go with your questions and we can answer those as well.
Hi guys. Hello everyone. I'm audible to you.
Yes, hi Nishant.
Hello sir. Can you please let me know what are the course and that you are going to cover? Like, basically, like demo wise, it's fine. Like you explained very well. I would like to understand like what is the syllabus right, that you are going to
Okay,
cover here.
yeah. So the syllabus will be shared by the management, and you'll be getting soon the index where what we are going to cover with respect to Salesforce admin and Salesforce development and the integration with respect to the various modules that will be shared by the management.
Okay. This course is also included practical examples also, right? Like practical ways or only theoretical?
Yes, the
Okay.
practical examples are given, and some interview tips are also given, and all the real-time scenarios that is being explained. It is not like a particular topic is explained and then we are done, right? There is also some assignments are also there where we can discuss on those assignment and give the real-time scenarios and the use cases that you can work on based upon the topics that we were explaining.
Okay.
Great. Thanks, Nishant.
Hi, Pradeep here from Chennai.
Hey,
See,
Pradeep, please go ahead.
I'm into the banking sector for more than a decade. Basically, engineering graduate. Now I am searching for a switch over to IT sector. So, how this will be useful for me without losing my career experience, or
All
I'll
right.
be treated as a fresher.
Yeah. So as a fresher, right, Pradeep? So nowadays, like Salesforce, as you know, the CRM, Salesforce CRM is number one applications which has a lot of customers that are being given with respect to various services. And it is nowadays in trend with respect to agent force, AI, and everything. And since being a fresher, right, for you, it will be like very much easier to understand and learn Salesforce and implement further. Because in a Salesforce which offers low code and no code approach, where you'll be able to learn everything from the drag and drop functionality and declarative functionality that you can learn, and along with that you can extend your logic with respect to the Salesforce development as well. Learning Salesforce is not depending on any other technology. If you do not know anything, you can still learn Salesforce.
Okay. In terms of package, let's see. Yeah, if I am treated as a fresher, so it will be very low, no? Whereas what I'm getting right now.
Yes. So, Pradeep, so in this case, right, during this training that we are going to teach all these real-time scenarios, which will take you a kind of 2 years experienced guy, 2 years to 3 years experienced person,
Okay.
where you can, uh, leverage that knowledge towards moving into that 2 years, 3 years experienced candidate and take the interviews. And I mean like conduct, I mean like, you can go with the interviews with respect to these things.
Fine. What will be the average salary if for experienced person like 3 to 4 years?
It would be like, yeah, it will be based upon the organizations, but yeah, minimum definitely you'll be getting 40 to 50K per month for 2 to 3 years, 3 years people.
Okay. In terms of sales for admin, with the experience, the same salary or it differs?
It will slightly differ. If you go to Salesforce admin, will not have lot of, like, there is Salesforce admin jobs, but it will be a developer, like more of developer jobs. So if you go to Salesforce admin, you will find like very less jobs in outside.
Okay.
I mean, like there are like demand is there for Salesforce admin also, but it is like very good and added advantage to make a developer, which
Yeah, as
will
you said
make
in the
you,
earlier,
yeah,
I understand, but the end of the day, we are running for package, no? So since AI is coming into the banking sector also, we feel insecure in the banking sector also. So
yeah,
that's the reason I'm searching for any other software tool like Salesforce thing. Even then, the
yeah.
salary will be very less compared to current salary.
Yes, yes, initially, because like you are learning right now, for the 2 months of learning that you're doing. But as soon as when you start your job, that 50K and whatever you're getting for the 2 to 3 years experience. And this is just I'm telling a minimum salary. But if you go with some other MNCs and big organization, that you'll be getting like more salary as well. And it's all like, as you grow, your salary will increase in more. If you
Pradeep,
learn 1 year, the
it
first one
depends
year,
on
after
Pradeep,
you
it
learn,
depends on your previous salary, Pradeep. So you have already 3 years of experience. If you have around 7 lakhs or 8 lakhs package, you will get around 14, 15 lakhs you can get. Or if you are having present 9 lakhs, you will get around 13, 14. Depends on your previous package if you are working. What Sar
Okay.
is saying is it is for freshers, sir.
freshers, I'm
So,
telling, yes.
yeah, for
Yeah,
freshers.
I clearly mentioned that I'm an experienced guy.
Yeah, that's what, so it is miscommunication. Sorry saying about freshers, it is not for experience. In Salesforce, 100% hikes will be there. So, but it depends on previous packages.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, thank you.
Correct.
Okay.
Thanks, Pradeep.
Any other doubts?
Sir,
Yeah, please go ahead. Anyone has any questions?
Salesforce cloud computing.
Okay.
That is, I am fresher and I am currently studying this year, third year, and Salesforce.
Mhm.
Sales,
Yeah. Yeah. You're studying and you're a fresher, I understand, and you wanted to know how the Salesforce CRM or cloud computing will help you, right? Was that the question?
Salesforce means cloud related. So
Right. So since you are fresher and you do not have any knowledge as well, still you can learn Salesforce. We do not, Salesforce does not need, any dependency with any other technologies. If you do not know any technology, still you can learn Salesforce with point and clicks. Also, programming developers can also learn an Apex programming and LWC without having any knowledge in other technologies, which is completely fine, and it is very easy to learn and implement further.
okay.
Yeah, any other questions? So daily training sessions will be from 10 to 11, 1 hour will be there. It depends on subject, it extends to 15 or 20 minutes more. So from tomorrow it will continue. So please try to attend the session tomorrow in same time.
Yes. So tomorrow's session that we are going to cover CRM lifecycle management and how Salesforce is base model is being used, and that terms will be like tomorrow that I'm going to explain, right? Which will be used entire for the Salesforce training. If you know, don't miss tomorrow's class because that is very important, and all the key topics will be covered in tomorrow's class.
So how many
Yeah.
demos are there? Like I'm not sure. Like how many demos that we are going to provide tomorrow? You're saying like we have to take subscription, right? Then only you can provide that, right?
So here tomorrow, like not, so it's not like your classes will be continuing. So 2 or 3 days you can join freely. After that, if you want to continue, you can pay the and you can continue the classes. So tomorrow also you can join same time.
Sure.
So it's not like how many classes. So some people will be attend for 1 month also for free, but it doesn't work out for institute, right? So when to you take decision, it takes some time. So we are giving 2 or 3 classes free for demos.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, in this course we are covering admin development, LWC integration, and also agent force also we are covering. So the duration will be the 2 months.
Sir,
Yeah,
cloud computing in AWS Lambda.
it is not AWS, it is Salesforce, it is completely different. No? You can contact the concerned person, counselor will clarify all your doubts regarding this, okay? Jahanavi, you can contact concerned person. So counselor will clarify your doubts. Yes, Sugat, please, any doubts, we'll clarify it. Or otherwise,
Sir,
you will contact the counselor, so she will clarify all your doubts regarding syllabus copy already shared to you. So please go through it. If you didn't find syllabus copy, please ping to the concerned members. They will share the syllabus copy also. And also after end of the session, so we'll share the recording session also to you. So daily recording sessions will be provided after the class so that you can re-verify or clarify your doubts. Okay. And also doubts will be clarified at the end of the session in your preferable language, which is Hindi, English, and Telugu. So in these three languages, your doubts will be clarified by the trainer.
Yep.
Okay. Any other doubts, please let us know, or otherwise we'll wrap
Hey,
up the
hi.
session. We'll meet tomorrow.
Hey, hi. This
Yes,
side Jonathan side.
yes, please.
Yeah, Janardhan, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I have a small query regarding this. Actually, I am working on some organization uh,
Okay.
relatively to the Salesforce. I mean, we get data from the stakeholders. We have to
Right.
do our responsibility to do ingest the data in the Salesforce inspector.
Okay.
It's like data import and export. We will
Yes.
store the data in the Salesforce cloud.
All right.
Yeah, as I know uh, about the Salesforce, like this only. I mean, we can store the customers, I mean, merchants' data in the Salesforce.
Right.
So, how it was experience it comes to the Salesforce. My responsibility works in the Salesforce. Is it considering to the Salesforce experience?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So, in the Salesforce, right, like you know the data that is being imported to the inspector or any of the data loader from
Yes.
the external system, right? So
Yes.
when you're doing that, there will be a mapping between the objects, the source and the target. What do you mean by source? Source is your external application, and the target is your Salesforce system. So when you are trying to map the data in Salesforce through the inspector, you will have the various types of data, right? Like text field, Boolean field, and number field, and all those stuff. The mapping that you're doing in Salesforce with respect to various objects, the data model with the fields that you're mapping, right? That you
Yes.
already with that you're already knowing about the mapping of the data, the object model that is being worked, right? So you should be knowing about the data object model, how that works to load this data. One point. Second point is behind the scene, behind the Salesforce objects, how the other multiple CSV files or multiple Excel files to be uploaded into one database object is
Yes,
the
correct.
second thing that you need to work, because there are some unique set of keys, unique identifiers. Every system has their unique ID. So identify that unique ID, how that is going to be transformed in Salesforce with respect to the various objects.
It's field mapping something.
Yes, it's a field mapping, and also we need to consider some external keys,
APIs.
external KPIs, and external keys that you need to
Okay.
use. Yeah.
Okay. Is it also come to the Salesforce? Is it experience comes?
Yes, Salesforce experience. I mean, like you just since like you have only data loading activity that you
Yes.
have done, but you did
Yes.
not know about like other side of Salesforce clouds, right? Like how it works,
Yes.
and what is LWC and what are the automation tools that we have. You might be not knowing about it, but you have an idea how that will work, right?
Correct.
The objects
Correct.
and all the basic standard objects and the custom objects. So I think you should extend this knowledge to make this learning automation tools and move forward with the LWC and all those stuff. That way, it will count there, because like you have seen the Salesforce, you have seen the mapping, and you can learn easily with the object model. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
But
Any other questions by anyone? Okay, if not, we can close it for today.
Sir,
And
today lecture time is
tomorrow, same timings, 10 o'clock, 10 to 11.
Meeting room is also same, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much.